it's Jenny from Ginger Ninja Crafts. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I am here with my Deck the Year card for week 22. I'm sure you already know, but in case you don't, this is a collab that anybody can join in with. It's hosted by lovely Penny at Penny's Crafty Creations, and the idea is you make an altered playing card for every week because there's 52 cards in a pack and 52 weeks in the year. So I have done this one for my week 22. So I will tell you the story that led to this one. It's not really very obvious, but I did a bit of embossing on there with a sort of brick effect embossing folder. You can kind of see it up close, but anyway, I did that, and then I sprinkled some brushes on because I had my brushes out of my desk, and I think it was terracotta and sienna, kind of a mixture, and then obviously spritzed it with water and left it to dry. So the reason that I've gone with this bee is because last weekend we were in Manchester for a little mini break. My husband and I went down on the Friday, and then we came home on the Sunday, and we went down to see a band called Tool. But I have been to Manchester once with my mum many years ago. My husband had never been, and we had a lovely time. The bee is a symbol for Manchester, and on lots of kind of signs and things a lot around the city there was this bee. So I had a wee look to see why was there so many bees, and apparently the bee is a symbol for Manchester. It's to do with it being a hive of activity and the sort of worker, the hard workers in Manchester. So that is what I did, and I noticed when we were walking around quite a lot of sort of red brick, so that's what I've done with the background. The flowers are from that Funky Foliage Tim Holtz die set that I've got, and I just added a little bit of gold honeycomb just to add to the bee theme behind. So yeah, so I've got some photographs that I thought I would add at the end of this video from our little trip to Manchester. So if you're interested in seeing those, please keep watching. So yeah, we had a lovely time. I went because we were going to see a band called Tool, and they were not coming to Scotland, so we booked to go and see them in Manchester. And I have to say, going to like an arena you're not familiar with, we arrived and the support act were playing, and we were sitting on the ground in front of the stage. It's a big arena. We were sat in like folding seats kind of things on the floor, but you had to go in at the top and walk down these steps in the pitch black. By the time I got to my seat, I was like, oh, I was shaking. I didn't enjoy that aspect of it, because it was like mega loud, no lights. Well, obviously some lights on the stage. Anyway, it was a brilliant gig though. We had such a good night, and we were very sensible. For the first time, we have both remembered to take our little sort of earpluggy things that don't block out the sound but just make it a bit less loud on the old eardrums. And what a difference. I could feel that it was really loud because the whole way through it, you know, when your chest is like vibrating, you can feel you can feel it in your body how loud it is. But I didn't have any ringing ears, so that was a win. So we'll need to remember and take them. We're going to see a couple of gigs, not this week, but the week after in Glasgow, so we'll need to take them for that as well. But yeah, so that was great. We did that on the Saturday night. On the Friday night, we just went out for dinner. I had a bit of a wander around the city centre. And our friend, I think he studied in Manchester, so he knows it quite well. And he suggested going to the Northern Quarter for a wander around, and to a big, I think it's like an old factory, which is now full of little kind of alternative small businesses, kind of handmade jewellery, like alternative clothes. It was right up our street. We had a great time. I bought, I don't think I can show you that sticker. I bought that one. And I bought my husband a cat dad sticker. And maybe I can show you. It's a gravestone. And it says, in memory of when I gave a fudge. So we say fudge, let's say fudge. You get the picture. So we had a wander around there, and then I had a little Google 30 craft shops. So quite close to there, I think still in the northern quarter, we went to a place called Fred Aldis, which was, I would say, more of like an art shop than a craft shop. But I did buy, where have I put it? I bought myself some watercolour paper because I've been doing that wee online course. And I bought this little kit, which I've not tried out yet. I think when I was at school, a century or so ago, we did a bit of this kind of thing. It was like paper that reacted to the light. This one says sun and water. Anyway, I've not looked at it yet, but I'll keep it for a year and then I'll have a look. But yeah, when I was at school, you did your sort of exam subjects, and then they had, I think they were called vocational or something. You did like these kind of modules in between. Like I did one that was about like, I don't know, something to do with electricity. And all I remember doing is we had all these little like circuit boards that you had to put them together, and there would be one that would be like, it would have like a switch or a light detector or a, different kinds of input, and then there was the processing bit, and then the output would be like a wee light or a wee buzzer would go off or something. Anyway, but one of the things I did was photography, which I really enjoyed, and we had a dark room, and we got to take the cameras and go out and wander the streets taking photos. I remember I was an old teenager wandering through the graveyard taking photos of like old gravestones with angels and all sorts of things on them. I must have those photos somewhere. But I think we did something with that then. So that was nice. My poor husband, after we'd wandered through this Affleck's place, we had a wee cuppa, we stopped and spoke to like the friendliest man in the world. Like big cities sometimes aren't all that friendly. But we walked into the cafe bit and he said, can we just have a drink? He's like, yeah. He's like, where are you from? And I said, Scotland. He was like, whereabouts in Scotland? I was like, near Edinburgh, just outside Edinburgh. Whereabouts, just outside? I was like, Midlothian? Because I was like, nobody's heard of Gorebridge. Anyway, he was chatting about he'd gone out with a girl from Kirstorfen, and anyway, it was really nice. We were talking about going to see Tool. I think he was looking at us like, you two, going to see Tool. You're not cool enough. Anyway, it was really nice. So my husband was a bit kind of weary from all the shopping. So we went back to our hotel. We had a wee rest, and then we went out. And then on the Sunday, our friend had recommended going to a place called Hebden Bridge. So we drove out there through some beautiful countryside. We went kind of over moors, and it was lovely. And then I put a few photos up on my Facebook, and somebody that I used to work with said, oh, so you watch Happy Valley then? I'm like, nope. I think Happy Valley was filmed in Hebden Bridge. So is that the street that the policeman got shot? Like, I have no idea. So we did, but it was just like a really kind of pretty village. My friend had said it's got lots of like arty places and crafty places, and it had lots of wee kind of studio. A lot of places weren't open, the sort of studio side of things, but it was lovely. There was a canal and geese and little goslings, and nice wee shops, lots of charity shops. I had to go and buy some books, obviously. So yeah, it was lovely. And then we just drove up the road from there. Stopped at T-Bay, which is the kind of king of service stations. It's like a farm shop and a nice cafe. And oh, I bought a book. Hang on. Yeah, I got this book. 365 Days of Art in Nature. They had one that was just Days of Art, but I quite liked the nature one. And it's like different drawing or painting or doodling or whatever art exercises, one for every day of the year. So I had a little look on social media. The lady is Lorna Scobie, and there's loads of these. There's like oh, I can't think. There was about 5 or 6 different ones. Maybe it tells you. About the author. 365 days of art, 365 days of drawing, and 365 days of creativity. I think there was more than that. I think the other one they had was the creativity one. So I haven't started it yet. But I have flicked through it and thought, oh, it looks lovely. But I think I've got that thing where it's like, I'm going to mess it up as soon as I start on it. So the paper's not brilliant, but it does suggest you could put some clear gesso on if you want to use paints and things and you don't want them to bleed through. I don't think I've got any clear. I think I've only got white, so I'll need to get some clear gesso. But yeah, so that was about it really, but it was lovely. It was really nice to get away. The cats had the cat sitters, so they were happy as Larry. Although they did steal Sharon's catnip. I think they did that before. I think she foolishly left her tub of catnip, and when she comes back, they have got into it. So when we came back, there was catnip all over the living room floor. It was on the windowsill, so I can only imagine they've been like rolling about in it, and they've been covered in it, and then they've got it sat on the windowsill, high as kites probably. So bless. So yeah, it was lovely though. So that inspired my little Manchester bee. So if you want to see some photos, please keep watching. It'll just be a few, and yeah, let me know what you've been up to. Have you ever been to Manchester? Do you have recommendations of things we should have done when we were there? Yeah, our next trippy is to Glasgow, which we know Glasgow a bit better. But it's always nice to do something different when you're there. So we'll need to have a bit of research about what we can do when we go to Glasgow, because we've got a couple of gigs there. So yeah, loving our little trips for seeing music. It's always good fun. So take good care. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back again very soon. Bye now. Peaceful spot.